Let's get this show on the road, boys. How's everyone doing today? Thank you for everyone coming into the chat. Hope your weekend went well. Oh, wow, we active today. Let's see here. Alex Warren, hot take, Arc Raiders is dead game because no one is playing it. Well, technically that's true, I guess, but I don't think it's for lack of trying, to be honest. So, that's probably the Arc Raiders' biggest weakness right now is that you can't play it. Let's see here. So Salty's final season 8 content will officially link with Arc lore. Man, we'll see it. We'll see. We will see, man. We will see. Let's get these finals up here real quick in the background. So, Slug Sloth, how you doing? When can I pre-order, man? If you find out before I do, let me know, all right? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's find out how many days till Arc Raiders official, I think. We're at, what, 59 days, give or take, something like that. Days till October 30th. 58 days, gentlemen. We are now below the 60-day mark. 58 days. Let's see here. Swifty, I wish I could make more of these streams. We're closer to launch every day. Dude, yeah. At this point, I'm trying to figure out a schedule that works that's also not saturating it. I want to, make it count when we're here. Let's do all that. Sly Ginger, what's up? You doing that whole scary movie thing on me now? I think I just showed my age again. Kristen Zim, we got some new art from Embark. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We got a couple of new art pieces there. 57. I think it's 58. It just depends on what part of the world you're at this point. Yeah, man. Snow map, that would hit hard, honestly. Can you imagine like the weather effects? Not only like just, snow coming from the bottom, but also just, explosions or gunshots coming off of snow and having all that billow out the distance with like the fog and whatnot. Oh, man. That'd be wild. You gotta start adding like blizzard effects on top of that. Man. Sean Moore, I am 99% sure that in one of your latest videos with the gameplay you were playing in the background, you were fighting me on my first raid as well. I hope you had fun. I'm not sure. You're gonna have to nail down maybe one of the instances, but hopefully we both had fun in that experience. You reminded me of an experience I had in a tech test that I can't talk about in terms of the game itself, but I know the experience I had was the very last drop I had. I loaded up as hard as I could, all the equipment I could, and just bum rushed whoever I got, and I just killed like a 3-man, and the last guy's like, this is my first game, and felt so bad. So Rogue, what do you do as full-time? I'm a full-time asshole, man. That's a full-time job. Swifty, Fallout kind of map would be cool too. Fallout kind of map, what do you mean by that? What kind of like layout you're talking about? Like industrial, like a factory type stuff? Kristen's in, my Steam account is loaded with money to pre-order Arc. Hopefully we will see pre-orders soon. Man, I swear my money will not hit the screen fast enough when that happens, honestly. Sly Ginger, December Arc update snow map for sure. You think that fast? You think it, I mean, it makes sense. But, in terms of what we've seen before, we have that, those plains, those grassy plains map. We know we have 4 maps for sure. Maybe we get a 5th on launch. I think we're spoiling ourselves at that point. We're kind of hyping ourselves up too much at that point. Rogue, LOL, wish I could get that one. Hey man, that's it's pretty hard to apply for. I'm not gonna lie. It's as Tyrion, I think if you guys understand the series, if Tyrion Lannister said if it was easy being drunk all the time, everyone would do it. For me, if it was easy being an asshole all the time, I think everybody would do it. PG Connor, I want a coastal map with over and underwater action. I can see that. Depends on how they do it, of course. So Salty's, I too am ready to fire that cash. I want like a cash cannon. It's just like at the screen. That's how fast I want it to be tossed at it. Sean Moore, not sure which video it was, but it was funny to see that from someone else's perspective. Yeah, it's interesting. I will always love a replay option, if only for that, for like a learning purpose. But it's always interesting to kind of see, you know, how someone else saw that fight. You know, I think back in the day when me and my son would play the cycle, he would be recording at the same time just so I can use it in videos whenever we were playing with each other. And so that was always fun to kind of see it from his perspective. See here. Say Swifty, industrial ruins kind of map, yeah, with rusted out cars and broken bridges. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't really change too much from what's established, though, in terms of what we have available to us in the starport as well as Dam. But I can see like maybe just like more factory-ish, like maybe like larger pipes, more of like those tunnel-like areas in the Dam. Me personally, I wouldn't mind a fully underground map that was like full tunnels and like the undersides are like factories and things like that. I think it could be very similar to your concept as industrial, you know. Lyco, do you think Arc Raiders has a big feature in store for launch? I think their end game is going to be something that is going to be the big feature. I think because they've been very tight-lipped about how they're going to deal with that, and so I see that as the quote-unquote big feature if there is going to be one. But you know, at this point, I am cautious about hyping myself up about that. So you know, it's just so I don't like drum up the expectations that will be let down. For me, everything I've seen so far about Arc Raiders brings me joy. So long as I just get more of that, I'm good, honestly. Alex Warren, I think they're going to be releasing a lot of maps, to be honest. They kind of need to. I'm not so sure about that because the maps mean split queues as well. So they have to kind of temper that a little bit. So new maps, yes. Probably variants you're probably going to see a lot more of, like, you know, night variants of the maps, harvesters, and they're going to start seeing other variants like that as well in terms of using the same map, but using the same map with different variations that are going to have meaningful changes in the gameplay. I think that's going to be key because that doesn't require a ton of work on their end, and it keeps us busy with content. Hopefully, you know, obviously if it's good content, then great. An extra map here and there is going to be helpful as well too. So I'm not sure if they need to do it, but obviously we want more maps, but you know. So Salties, do we know how many participated in Tech Test 2? I think the rough estimate was about 25K, on, you know, something like that. But it was, you know, pretty restrictive. So, I think I've probably lost count the amount of comments I've seen on videos that said I only found out about Arc Raiders after the Tech Test, and so, you know, that's unfortunate for them. But at the same time, they showed that the hype was residual. It didn't have to keep going. Rogue, yeah, I'd be okay with less maps. Yeah, I'd be okay with less maps too, so long as they have clear identities, right? Like if you look at some of the concept art that could easily take place in like Dam, or maybe like farther than Dam, like basically like you can have Dam 2.0, it's just basically the same biome and the same kind of generic, you know, Dam feel, but it's like maybe like a sidestep from it, like it's a different portion of where a Dam would be, but it'd be a whole new map. But I wouldn't be too excited by that because it's just basically Dam 2.0. It has no distinct feel at that point, you know? It's just, you know, I would rather have something new. You know, so people say, hey, I want the forest map. I want the snow map. I want XYZ map. Like, you want these big biomes hit first before you start having variants of them. You know? Side Ginger, they don't need a lot of maps as long as the maps get are good. Gameplay, ain't no COD map rollouts. Yeah, exactly. They need to be big. They need to be detailed. If anything, I feel like they should shoot for larger maps. Because you know me, if you see my videos, like I I would love the idea of having large maps with like larger groups and like vehicles even. And in my case, in my mind, that would be the best route to go to. But you know, you still need smaller maps too. Rogue, I'm hoping it runs well. Also interested in new Dying Light, but system requirements are too high for my laptop. Rogue, so did you get a chance to play the tech test too? Because everyone I've ever talked to that had a chance to play it said it ran marvelously on their computer. So I don't think you need to hope. I like Warren. I mean, they kept maps fresh. All right, so we have a lot of discussion about maps here. I want to let's let's do something here. Chat wise, I want to put something together here. Let's see if I can put a poll together. Use this function because I have never used this function on any of these. Is there a poll? There a poll function type thing? I want to know what you guys think about. Man, I don't even know how to do that crap. All right, I want in the chat. What was your favorite map? The 3 maps that we got a chance to play. What was your favorite map? Right. Let's see who wins this out. It's gonna be Starport, Dam, or Buried City. What's the three? What's the everyone's favorite map? I'm gonna catch up on chat while y'all putting these answers in. I say I played Alex Warren playing on Epic Games. Had the game wishlisted for 2 years. It didn't spot it on Steam. It took me 1 day to get access on Epic. I think so too. I think with the way a lot of platforms work with regards to how they report numbers, I think you can never really get an accurate number on all these things, right? But usually it's, you know, ballpark. For me, I think the game's going to explode. I think the game's going to go absolutely wild, right? And the reason why I say this is because just anecdotally speaking, I'm not a huge channel on YouTube. I don't have a huge presence, but like I'll put out a hour-long podcast on a game that has not been playable for months, is not set to release for months, no marketing whatsoever for months, and I'll still knock out a couple thousand views, you know, on a game that's the driest of dry right now, you know. And so that's interesting. And every content creator I've talked about that makes content for our creators, even right now, they're still knocking it out. Like you look at unfortunately, a lot of times you get other content creators that are putting out they'll put out something like, oh, brand new information on Arc Race, even though there really isn't any brand new information, but they'll still get like 60 70k views, you know, which is higher than average what their channel gets. So that tells me there's still a hungry amount of people, community out there waiting for Arc Raiders, you know. All right, let's see here. Let's look at the everyone's favorites. We got a lot of dams here. We got Dam, Space, Starport, Dam, Buried City, Dam, Starport. Oh, the dams take it, gentlemen. The dams take it. Hot damn. Interesting. For me, I gotta say Spaceport. I gotta go with the Spaceport. And the reason why I go with Spaceport is because one, it's larger. It's deceptively complex because if you didn't know, there's like that tunnel around. Let me put on a Starport video on actually. There is a tunnel around. Let's see here. No, that's not it. Yeah. Put on a Starport video. Because there's like there's tunnels, there's loads of tunnels underneath the actual Starport map that makes the map a lot more complex, than you might see on a just on a surface level. But also there's more variance in terms of your distance of when you're engaging people. There's a lot more long range fights that happen. and there's really great POIs like arrivals, departures, um, the main control tower or launch tower. It's kind of like the reason why I like it. There's plenty of open spaces, but there's plenty of complexity in the POIs. Whereas the dam, I feel like it's great in a lot of the similar ways, but it just feels a little more compact, a little more claustrophobic, but in a good way. But in a good way. Rin, man, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the stream. Glad you make it by. Don't be stirring the pot now, though. Okay. Let's see your rogue. I'm glad you played the tech test. Glad it ran. Yeah, it looks like Dam is the overall most popular map. It's interesting. What about key rooms, guys? What do you think about the key rooms? Like, what's your guys' general take on? I feel like if you got a chance to use key rooms, like, do you feel like they were worth it at all? Did it feel compelling to go in there and do anything with it? Because I feel like unless you were regularly hitting them, they weren't really, worth much, and they weren't worth basically they weren't worth going out of your way for, at least from in my opinion, which I hope they change. Yeah, Sean Moore. There really have been a severe lack of extraction shooters that aren't just Tarkov clones. Dude, I've been beating that drum for years, literally years. It's been my contention that the Psycho Frontier fumbled so hard because they would have had no other competition until basically now, right? They would have had 2 years head start on Arc Raiders to build up their content pipeline, right? And you can speculate on whether or not they actually would have done well against Arc Raiders or not, right? That's a lot of ifs and buts there. But like, imagine the fact that the Psycho Frontier shut down about 2 years ago, and since then there really hasn't been any extraction shooters between Tarkov and Hunt. Like there's this huge gap in between. Like I think we talked about this in the podcast where you had Hunt Showdown, which is really casual extraction shooter, and I say casual in the sense that, like, gear is easy come easy go, and you have Tarkov, which is like takes days and weeks to acquire gear, and there's like not a whole lot in between there. Everything else is kind of leaning towards Tarkov, so I feel like Arc Raiders is gonna nail the button. It's gonna nail right in the middle, and it's gonna be like, I'm gonna soak up all this market share, and we're gonna have a good time. I think we're gonna do good. All right, see here. Legal, inconsistent. Not sure what you mean by that. If you can clarify. The Dam POI, like, honestly, like, I like Dam. My favorite part of Dam actually would be, I'm not sure if you guys ever got to do this. There's those drawbridges at the Dam where you can basically use the terminals to like bring them down, and you traveled along the catwalk right below the surface area of the Dam. I like that area a lot personally. Hey, Root. See here. Hot take. Arc Raiders PvP is actually the secondary focus. It is heavily intended for players to team up on a task together. Okay. Okay, got it. Leaky. So some key rooms have really good loot. Some rooms are average. Yeah, I agree with that. Some of them were absolute butt cheeks. They did not do well for me at all. They were just horrible. I think the towers, the spaceport towers, was consistently good for me personally. The root bat, that's good. I'm not sure if I agree with it, but maybe it's kind of the phrasing, what you're kind of being there, is that it may not be the primary focus, but it is always the primary threat, right? Here's the thing: even if, let's say for example, even if 80% of the community is 100%, I'm not gonna kill on sight, I want to team up with other people, do all that kind of stuff. It don't take a very large percentage of people who are killing you on sight and like going out of their way to go PvPing to make everybody act that way too. And that's the inherent nature of an extraction shooter, right? So when someone talking about things like, oh, we can make this mechanic and we can make that mechanic to help people incentivize into working together, I'm like, brother, it's always going to be the minority of cases, always, right? Because it only takes one person to start a gunfight. You choose whether or not you shoot back, right? And while I think there's going to be some cool instances of that happening, I think they have to be very careful in how they implement it. Because if they put the situation, like for example, like if they make an event like the defensive Speranza, like I had a video on that. If they make an event that's specifically only for PvE, you're gonna have a huge chunk of your player population that has zero interest in it, right? And likewise, like if they made a fully deathmatch mode, right? It's like, hey, we're gonna make a mode. It's only like a section of a small map, and it's strictly gonna be like 6v6 or something like that. There's probably gonna be a decent amount of people who are gonna love that, but the vast majority of the player base wouldn't, right? It's not what the game's about. And so they have to be very careful how they balance having stuff that's going to be PvE, PvP type stuff, and it's a balance. And I think that Arc Raiders does that balance really, really well. In that, it gives the PvE enough life to make it meaningful, right? But they're not so overly difficult that they're super frustrating. And then because of that, because of the PvP threat, they only need to be so threatening anyways. Right, because it doesn't matter how difficult all these PvE enemies are. The threat of PvP is always going to make you nervous. Because if you didn't have the threat of PvP, you can just cheese out any AI. It only takes time for people to figure it out. Man, you guys are on fire today. Let's see here. That's one, you're right. It was a PvE game first, and you can see that passion showed in the game. I think that's why it's better than anything we've ever seen. Here's the thing. It's like, I think we're not giving the devs enough credit, right? In that it's not because it was PvE first that they had good PvE, right? Let's look at Hunt Showdown. Like Hunt Showdown, for example, has, until Arc Raiders showed up, the best PvE of all the extraction shooters, bar none, right? And that's because they were puzzles to be solved. You couldn't just, or I'm going to shoot more bullets at it and call it a day. They had specific weak points. They had specific ways you had to fight them, specific tools that you couldn't use against them. Like that was huge, and that made the PvE there like more compelling, right? Whereas Arc Raiders is the exact same thing. It's more compelling, but because it's more compelling, the PvE side of things isn't just boring a space filler. If you look at games like, for example, like ABI for me, it's like as good as their AI is, it's still filler. At the end of the day, whenever I hear footsteps and someone comes in the corner and I just beam them in the head and I realize I just killed the bot, it's a huge letdown, right? Whereas with Arc, I like the fact that it's very clearly you're fighting bots and you're fighting players. It's very clear about that. And I like that. And the combat feels so different because, again, PvP, you're fighting against another person, you're using cover, you're tempoing it out, then you're fighting the Arcs. It's a completely night and day thing, and I think that's a great, aspect to it. And I don't think that required the game to be PvE first. It just required devs that cared enough about that part of the experience to actually put the energy there. Oh yeah, so the funny thing about it is that like because of the green screen, it's hard to tell. But my drink of choice typically on streams is see if you can actually tell. Because of the green screen, it just doesn't show up quite as well as it would normally, which is what I actually found out on the very first time I streamed with the camera on. It was kind of interesting because the way the can looked, it looked like I was drinking beer the entire time. I was like, nah, just Arizona, man. See, Rogue, I'm actually of the opposite opinion when it comes to that. When it comes to good PvE versus PvP getting stale after a while, like to me, I feel the exact opposite. Which is why I think Arc Raiders would do so well, because it does such a good job doing both that people can do both and feel a good amount of rush from both. For me, I can't. It's very hard for me to justify spending money on a PvE game these days because I know I'll stop playing it within a few weeks because it just ain't for me. Hey, real quick here, just checking the chat. How many people here play Space Marine 2? Because we got a huge update coming in about 2 days. That's probably something I'm gonna want to try to check out again once, once I'm getting to that day, trying that out again. Alex Warren, I think root beer, root basket, base drink. Yep. Alex Warren, PVE doesn't give intense high, doesn't give intense highs like PvP, but a good PVE adds atmosphere to layers of depth. Dude, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like straight up, like it's just the PVE brings a tone to the game, but the PvP, honestly, and here's the reason why I will never, I don't want to say never, because never say never, right? I won't generally agree with people who say PvP isn't the focus. And I think the word focus kind of detracts from what that really means, right? And so here's the issue. Players will always represent the biggest threat to you on the map. Bar none. Just bar none. Right? Not only will they always represent the biggest threat, they'll also always represent the biggest gain because they filter out the loot system for you. They're only picking up good stuff or stuff that's useful. And so as soon as you kill them, it's a loot pinata. You get to pick up all the things they've picked up. So not only are they always the biggest threat, they're always the biggest gain, which is why alliances are always so tenuous because at any point in time, you turn your back, pop. It doesn't matter how, strong PvE really is. That's always going to be the case, right? Space Marine. Yeah, Sly Ginger, I have Space Marine. What's the update? So the update, we're getting a brand new PvP mode. Well, it's just, I pay attention to most of the PvP portion of it. We're getting a brand new PvP mode. I believe we're getting a new map to go along with that. We're getting like 3 new weapons just on the 4th. And then they put out their new roadmap for the year. Over the course of the year, we're going to get 2 additional PvP maps and a whole new class. We're going to get the Tech Marine as a class. So that should be fun. Oh, and the new PvP mode, apparently at some point you get to pilot a Dreadnought. So we're going to see how that works out. It's probably like a kill streak type thing, maybe. Alex Warren, I agree with that. Alex Warren, the focus on extraction shooter is survival, nothing more, nothing less. Once you lose that, it's not an extraction shooter, it's a BR. I agree, man. I think the most important, one of the most important distinctions between an extraction shooter and a BR is that I can choose to just leave, right? I don't have to be the last person standing. I don't have to fight you. I can be like, well, your fight's this way, evacs that way. I'm going to prioritize what's in my bag higher than what's in your bag. I'm going to go that way, right? And that choice is really important because I can choose to fight. I can go last man. I'm going to fight every single person I come across. I can choose to do that, or I can choose to not do that. And I think that's a big difference between an extraction shooter and a BR. Among many, mind you, but yeah. Sean Moore, the risk of an alliance is what makes them so great in the first place. If you consistently found alliances in every game, that would get stale. Yeah, absolutely. I think, and also what would be even worse is that if you had to rely on them. I know someone gave an idea regarding PvP and PvE, is that when they wanted to make a mechanic in game that required people to have 4 people or more in order to force people essentially to work together. And I feel like what's going to happen is that the majority of the time, not all the time, but the majority of the time, the moment that mechanic is done, they're going to fight each other. It's really what's going to happen, right? And so you're going to get to a situation where being betrayed in an alliance feels super crummy. Even though you know it's a possibility, it just feels super crummy. And you're forcing people to go into that situation where that's likely to happen. I feel like that's kind of toxic, honestly. That's just me. I think there's ways you can do that, but I don't know. Not as like a big not as a big mechanic that's requiring of your progress or something like that, you know? That's interesting, Rogue. Real quick in the chat, you brought up a good point. How many of you got like three or more of the same blueprint during tech test. Like I got three door jam blueprints. Like I got so much to the point where I get fine, I'll use one, you know. But and bear in mind, during the tech test, they were all legendary, which I'm sure is not going to be the case when we get to the actual launch. I'm sure there'll be like green blueprints and blue blueprints and all that kind of good jazz. So, but for me, if they have no way of tracking whether or not you have it or not, I'm already, I've already decided I'm gonna have a spreadsheet of what I already have back in the base, so I know what's worth picking up and what's not. Because let's say if I have a blueprint and I already have a blueprint for like I don't know Jupiter or whatever, and I see another one, I'm gonna offer it to my buddy first before taking it home because I have there's no use for me at that point, you know. More XP for duplicates, I can see that being useful, you know, like if you're trying to grind XP or whatever it is. But I feel like I feel like there could be more creative ways to do that, you know. Alex Warren, what would happen to solos that can't do the content? How is that a good idea? I mean, yeah, you always got to balance that out. But I feel it's not. I don't know. It's tricky trying to get people to work together when they have every reason not to, right? And I think oftentimes when people come up with ideas about cooperation or forced cooperation, it's I think they underestimate, you know, the nature of an extraction shooter. Look at that fail jump right there. That loser just missed that jump like a loser. Um, but I don't know. It's how do I put this? Someone said in the Discord the other day that Arc Raiders is going to be the friendliest extraction shooter there is out there. Technically, they're right. I think they're going to be right, but that's still incredibly hostile. So I just think maybe people don't understand the nature of extraction shooters, which is you're going to see that a lot. I think because Arc Raiders is already attracting so many people to the genre that have never played the genre before, and so hopefully people like myself and you guys can help them along and then understanding what the nature of this game is going to be, you know. Alex Warren, you only had one duplicate the entire time. Lucky you, man. Lucky you. I got three door jam recipes, and I got so tired of getting them. Like I said, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and use it, and I ended up using it. You know what? I actually kind of regret not using it sooner, to be perfectly honest. I'm like, this is kind of clutch. Actually, I can see this. They were super easy to build, right? They required almost no materials, and they're also low level materials. So if you lost them in a loadout, who cares, right? But it was interesting because you could just lock a door down, and you're like, all right, what's this? This is better than a blaze grenade, honestly. Saw Ginger getting multiple lure grenade blueprints. Well, you know, Saw Ginger's skill tree will be very important. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that in the next podcast episode. I might even make a whole video on that and things that I want to see. I felt like the skill tree personally. I felt like the skill tree was one dimensional in terms of the obvious choices that you had because your stamina was so low to begin with that it almost forced you to start building into stamina early on, and then you saw the benefits immediately. So you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep going this direction. And so for me, it was pretty much almost all stamina with a little bit of movement to kind of synergize with the stamina personally. What about you guys? Did anybody here not go stamina tree in their tech test? What did you guys do? What did you feel like it was worth it? Did you feel like, hey, this was kind of worth it? I wasn't really missing on anything. Did anyone here go into one of the other skill trees? Yeah, Alex Warren, you reminded me I got the anvil splitter and I played it with the same anvil for 8 hours. Shit was OP. Yes, the anvil I always knew was kind of strong, but I also got the anvil splitter as well. And to me, man, I always kind of knew the anvil was gonna be hard to balance because of the nature of third person shooting and peeking. You know, kind of peeking and shooting. Like it just shot too fast, hit too hard, was too accurate. I'm like, dude, there's no way they're gonna keep this gun this way it is. It's just too easy to, and it's also heavy ammo too, so you can kill PvE really well. Like you can just run around with the anvil and that was it. You had a good loadout anyways. So I knew they were gonna have to nerf it, but do it in a way that also didn't make it absolute dog shit too. So Rogue, that's an interesting idea. They can make it so it always requires a blueprint to make legendary items, or maybe set a set amount until you need to blueprint again. That's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I probably have to chew on that for a little bit, but I can see the idea. I wasn't a huge fan of blueprints to begin with because it just added a level of RNG um to your progress. I can't. I'm coming from the Psycho Frontier where like you can choose a faction, and you can go. I want to focus on this faction so I can get XYZ things unlocked quicker, right? Whereas RNG kind of like it can kind of muddy that up, but though over enough time you're gonna get everything anyways, and so I feel like maybe limiting that would make it even worse, make those situations even worse, you know. But I can kind of see the reasoning behind that. I feel like uh, I like the recipe system as it is. I just question whether or not it's gonna have the longevity. Like after you have enough of it, what do you do now? You know. Hey, Jerem, welcome to the chat, man. Let's see, red and yellow, rogue yellow, red tree only, stamina. Yeah, it looks like everyone just pretty much just went stamina movement, and I think because of how low a stamina you start off with, you're almost forced to. Like you're there and you're like, all right, cool, I'm running out of stamina constantly. Well, look at my 3 trees. The very first thing I get to do is I can do extra stamina. You know. So, you know. All right. Yeah, like when I think about your when I think about your idea, Rogue, it regards to the limiting amount of times you can use a recipe, I don't totally hate the idea, but I can see how that would get annoying really fast though. So it's one of those like, I'd like to try it for a test, but I wouldn't necessarily want to have that as at launch and be like the thing that we're leaning on, you know? I want to see how I feel about it playing it first, you know? Alex Warren, I really like the gun balance, something the Cycle really had a hard time with. Yes. I think it was a weird thing with them in terms of they had the tiering of like armor that didn't do much, but also the weapons. The tiering really didn't matter all that much. So I felt like it didn't come down to the tiering at all. It just came down to which gun was better. And a lot of times you just had guns that were at the lower tier that were just better. I remember season 3, PDWs, AR-55s were king, and those were the easiest and cheapest guns to get into, which basically ruined the economy, in my opinion. But you know, that was a long time ago at this point, and so it's no sense in getting worked up over it, because Lord knows I do. You ask my son about that every time it comes up, we can go on a tirade. We'll probably go another 30 minutes nonstop of just completely bitching about things that the Cycle did wrong, you know. See, Alex Warren, especially the common sniper in the Cycle, there is a sniper you can instantly follow up on shot and pretty much guarantee a kill. Ezrad, are you like working on the game? No. I am just a regular old streamer, man. Content creator, make guide videos, things like that. So I wish, man. I wish. Maybe not, because I don't know. I would want to enjoy the game and not just have to work on it, but you know, who knows? Explorer and Arc, you couldn't follow up the shot in a meaningful way unless it was a full ambush. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the key difference between Arc and the Cycle Frontier that I enjoy, is that the time to kill in Arc is fast enough that it feels meaningful when you land your shots and you do your maneuvering. But it's not so fast that whoever sees who first is the determining factor who wins the gunfight, right? And so I feel like, boom, I just hit you square in the dome with, you know, a heavy shot from, you know, something like that, and you immediately dodge behind cover, and you have a little bit of time before I rush you, before you can heal up, or maybe even turn around and just submachine gun spray me or whatever it is. It was not a guaranteed win, you know, and I think that's what made it good. You know, it just had a good flow, right? It was one of those things where it just wasn't too fast, it wasn't too slow, just a nice little sweet spot, you know. Sludge, did anyone get the security breach unlocked? Like what loot is in those things? Honestly, I don't see anyone who even got close to that, to be perfectly honest. And I saw that, I was like, this doesn't seem like it's kind of worth it, to be honest. Like, unless you're talking about like infinite power rods or something like that, I don't think it'd be worth it. I think you're better off spending those points somewhere else. But who knows, man? I'm sure somebody's gonna do that. I'm sure somebody's gonna get there, and they're probably gonna put out a video and be like, all right, here's the 10 times that I used it. Here's what I got. Is it worth it? That's what I would do. I'm probably not gonna go that route in terms of content, but I feel like that'd be an easy video to make because people would watch it. I'd watch it. You know, Rogue, mostly because if it's a one-time blueprint, then those items become useless and you get nothing legendary later in game after a while. But yeah, maybe they can come up with a different rewards instead. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to figure out ways to make it valuable that you find them. But at the same time, they also should be hard to find. So, you know, Alex Warren, the cheap guns were better after they hard nerfed the Manticore, Advocate, Shadowgun. Yep. Honestly, it just to me, I was on the unpopular opinion side of things, where like I felt like the more you spent on your gear, you should have a certain level of increase in terms of power. Because if I'm spending, I don't know, 1,000,000 K marks on my loadout, and you're spending 1,000, 10,000, if that, I should see a noticeable difference in my performance, because you can literally hop on that raid over and over and over again, and I have to kill you like 10 times, and if you kill me once, you're coming up on top. Meanwhile, I probably spent more money on my ammo killing you than I did than I will ever get off of you. And so I know some people feel a certain kind of way about that, be like, yeah, your gear shouldn't give you that much power, this, that, and the other. Because yeah, I'm not saying it should be an automatic win. I'm just saying, like, there should be a point to you wanting better gear. Because if I get better gear and I get no increase in my performance, I get no benefit to that. Why would I grind to get better gear? I don't know. I feel like that starts a whole cycle where, like, okay, if I don't get any advantages off getting better gear, which means I'm not going to spend for better gear. If I don't spend for better gear, I'm not going to loot to go find the equipment I need to go in order to unlock better gear. If I'm not going to go loot to unlock better gear, what am I looting for? I'm not gonna loot for anything else, really. Right? So that's almost the whole game. Looting. So like I don't know. But Maniac, welcome to the chat, man. But we should not underestimate the scavenger skill tree. Getting slower detected by arc could really save your ass in a tricky PvP situation if your enemy gets spotted by them first. Yeah, here's the flip side to that. Or I could run faster, right? So even if I do get spotted, I'm gone faster. I don't have to worry about doing as much. I don't have to. I can carry more stuff while still running faster. I can, climb things faster and get out of danger, or not even get into danger because I have the speed. So I feel like all roads lead to Rome in this regard. I feel like they should add more things in that scavenger set to incentivize you not going all in on, you know, on stamina. You know, I feel like that's kind of just, you know, I feel like it's just, I need more. I need more. You know, I feel like if there are certain, I wouldn't say recipes, but I mean, maybe reduce crafting costs. I could see that being worth it. Like, hey, if you tell me I don't need as many voltage converters, if I don't need as many processors, if I don't need as many power rods to build things, I'd say that's pretty compelling. What do you guys think? What do you guys, if you were told, hey, halfway through the scavenger tree, it reduces all, you know, recipe costs by XYZ amount on like really hard to find items, would that make it worth it for you? I think at that point, I don't need to run as far if I have a good gun. Bullets do the running for me. Alex Warren, well, everything except the brute. Yeah, obviously. The brute was a weird one, right? I think the brute submachine gun was a weird one for them to hey, Beetle Bob, man. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you always coming by, man. I always appreciate you coming by. Skate, when do we think pre-orders are going to drop? Let's see here. I'm going to make a guess. Let's make a guess. We're on the 2nd right now. I'm going to guess the 15th. I'm going to guess the 15th. We're going to see pre-orders drop like the weekend of around there. In regards to the brute, I think it's interesting because the brute's the best example I've ever given with regards to using bloom in game, and why I think it's a really great lever for developers to use, because the brute had, it was basically a laser beam. As soon as you memorized and you trained the recoil pattern, it was a laser beam, and no amount of like damage reduction over distance or they could change that, and they just at the end they just basically made that recoil so annoying to use that it was like anyone who wasn't a top 1%er couldn't use it anymore, like, because it was just like crazy. If you had bloom, you can be like, cool, doesn't matter how good your recoil management is, you can't use this gun accurately at a certain range, and then at that point they can afford to balance it in other ways by making it actually strong at close range and having the shots, you know, you can burst fire it or whatever. But yeah, that's Alex Warren. I had a hard time carrying out my loot in Ark. I was always deciding what 4 guns I wanted to grab before I was too heavy. Yeah, guns were heavy, man. At a certain point, I stopped carrying guns out, to be honest, because they were just so heavy they weren't worth it. I would just bring out critical crafting items instead, unless they were, of course, good guns. In which case, all right, well, they're good guns. But yeah. How often, everyone here in chat, how often did we get to purple augments? Like, because to me, I think the game kind of changed a little bit once you get the purple augments. You can start carrying out a lot of stuff. So, looks like we've been chatting for a while, man. What are you guys feeling? Playing some finals? Watch me rage out a little bit. Get stomped on. See your rogue. What will people do when they already have all the good loots? I think that's where interesting missions / objectives come in. Helps to keep the game fresh. I agree, man. I made a whole video on clans and how they can be used to negate gear inflation in a lot of ways, while also adding a lot of other things to the game and addressing some issues in the game. And so I feel like that would be a really good route. Though I'm not going to claim to have a monopoly on good ideas. I know Embark's probably going to have something up their sleeve that's going to be really great. So, we'll see. All right, let's see here. We're going to go play some finals here. We're going to still keep chatting Arc Raiders. Don't get that twisted. We still want to do all that. Yeah, Sly Ginger, the yellow augments was the game changing because it offered like 4 more spaces from purple and 3rd safe pocket. Saw it, Rogue. I like the clan video. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, Beastmaster, welcome to the chat, man. Yo, what's up? I found out about Arc maybe about a month ago and looking forward to it and subbed to you. Enjoyed the podcast. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We chilling. If it's kind of your vibe, by the way, anyone here in chat, by the way, if it's your vibe and you're not already in the Discord, you can look at the Discord, check it out in the links below. We're chilling there. We're constantly having these kind of discussions about it. And, you know, I want to hopefully create a place where people can kind of just jump in and always have 1 or 2 buddies to play with at any given time. Or at the very least have places where they can ask their questions and be like, hey, where do I get XYZ done, you know? Alex Warren, if we're talking endgame, there needs to be a final end to your story. You need a goal to keep most people engaged. I envision an extractor is a story of your own making. Yeah. And I think that's important. I think the clan aspect of that lends itself to that because it's you organizing that factor. And there's a reason why I called it Warlords, by the way, is because I feel like the nature of Speranza and the kind of environment that the story is taking on, you're eventually going to get Warlords. So you're going to get smaller groups, you know, and they're going to be associated loosely with whatever reason they're going to have loose association with. And then they're going to, you know, that's going to escalate into like gangs essentially. And then eventually you're going to start getting power players like Warlords, which is why I named the clan idea Warlords. And so I feel like you can put a lot of story in behind that, like different human factions vying for either power or they're trying to eventually work together. You can kind of Game of Thrones that sucker, man. Like, hey, there's tensions, there's like constant maneuvering, but you know, there's other people behind the scenes that are kind of trying to, you know, reduce those tensions at the same time. You can do a lot with that. A rogue there nerfing yellow augment shield, right? Right. I never got. I know they're nerfing the purple shield. We don't know how though. I feel like with shields, it's weird because it's one of those things where there needs to be different styles of gameplay, right? You can't just be like, all right, well, heavy shields is no longer viable at all, not worth using. I'm like, well, how about you just make light shields and medium shields have their own feel for it? How about you make like light shields? My idea is basically to have attachments on shields, whereas like on heavies you only have like 1 attachment slot. On mediums you have like, I don't know, 3, and then on lights you have like 5. And those attachments can give real bonuses. So for example, you can have like a self-repair mechanic on a light shield that wouldn't be that useful on a heavy shield because it only kicks in after a certain amount of damage is done, or it only repairs a certain amount, which wouldn't be meaningful to a heavy shield, but it'd be extremely meaningful to a light shield. Or, you know, I feel like it has to be a reason for you to rock one of each of those shields rather than just saying, oh, I got my next one, I got my next one, I got my next one, and just keep moving up the line. There's no reason to kind of go back and forth, you know. Random, but you look kind of like Secure Team 10. I hope he's a good looking dude, man. I hope he's a good looking dude. Now I'm curious. I gotta go look now. Huh. There you go. See here, Alex Warren, I've come up with a final ending of assaulting a missile facility, fighting off Arc with a lot of people to shoot down the space station and end the Arc threat. That's interesting. Obviously, it wouldn't end the Arc threat. I think it maybe would just shift the kind of arcs you'd start to get. You start to see a new chapter of mission, obviously. See, Buddy Maniac, 120 shield points on purple, plus I think it was 65 damage reduction was just too much. The need to turn that down and give it a bit more movement penalty. I agree, man. Here's my thing, right? Like, there should be reasons to do both, right? Like, for example, like if I rock a heavy shield, I want to be able to play like a heavy shield. PG Connor, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate you. And so like in a gunfight, in a straight muzzle to muzzle fight, yeah, I want to have that advantage, but maybe I won't be as fast maneuvering. And you know, oh no. All right, guys, give me 1 second here. One moment. Be right back. All right. All right. Beastmaster, when will pre-orders be ready, you think? My guess would be September 15th, like that weekend, like mid-September. But we'll see. Skate Zero, I hope Arc Raiders keeps it fun, interesting for those looking to play without having the meta load out every topside raid. If the meta is too OP, then it'll lose interest. I agree. I think there needs to be viability in terms of what is, you know, what's worth it. Alex Warren, we're going to play some PoE 2. Nice chatting with you. Nice chatting with you too, man. Thanks for coming by, man. Good chatting with you. Let's do some gaming, guys. Let's do some gaming. Just watch me get my ass beat. Do some deathmatch right off the rip. I unlocked some new guns since last time, so I'm gonna get fun to use them. Get my little noob tuber here. See how this thing plays. I mean, if I got a skin for it, might as well use it, right? A Beastmaster, will be getting a premium version of the game or just the standard $48? As a general rule, I don't have issue at this point spending top dollar. But I have to feel like I'm getting value. You know? If I don't feel like I'm getting value out of it, I probably won't. What about you guys?
All right, the Kingfish versus the Boundless. Team up, rack 'em up. It's TDM time.
All right, let's trying to get my ass beat too bad now.
You know, Scotty, this takes me back to the golden age of virtual gaming. Team deathmatch.
You said it. Pride's on the line, and neither team is going to back down easily. Guardian turret active.
Oh, I might even hit the damn thing. All right, there you go. So far, so good. Let's get this up here. That's a lot of stairs, man. My cardio ain't that good. Nope. Where's these fools at? Oh. Let's say I'm willing to pay $80 most if I'm being honest. Well, I got to pay $80 if I wasn't jobless. Beastmaster, I'm building a new PC at the end of this month just for our creators. Yep, I mean, like I said, it really just depends on how much value I see from the actual package itself. Whoa. Oh, dang. I'm gonna change my weapon here at this point. Just shoddy.
Champions are made.
This is when strategies can make or break.
Oh. Ooh, boys. Oh. Damn. Rogue also wanted to, but I can't because if I move cities on the laptop instead. Yep.
Let's get airborne.
There you go.
The Boundless take charge early, setting the tempo and forcing their opponents to play catch-up.
All right, let's play DMR this time. A little bit of pew, pew, pew.
After an incredible last round, the Boundless can wrap this up with one more win.
Hop on up!
There you go. Let's make this a little more difficult to get up to. Then nobody wants to come up. damn. Get absolutely wrecked, bro. Oh. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Side flank here. Oh, with the dinger. Ooh. All right, landing my shots today, boys. Oh no. I gotta pick that up, don't I? Thing's still up around. I have this bad habit of opening my mouth when I'm shooting and concentrating, you know? Oh. That's not good. Oh, that's not good. Had the goo grenade out, man. Beastmaster, imagine that DMR fucks, right? Yeah, right? Beastmaster, Gecko will buy you a new PC. Yeah. If you take Monopoly money, man, I can do that. High clutches. Here's the thing, like, unfortunately, I'm widely known for being incredibly inconsistent with my performances, so... for another angle. How about this for a slick angle, boys? Ah, nope, can't make it. Damn.
The Boundless have just paved their way to fame with a stunning win in team deathmatch.
Yeah.
Congratulations to
Beastmaster still got a pretty good shot, though. I mean, like I said, I'm inconsistent. See, I'll do a game like that, and the next one I'll just shit the bed. Don't be laughing. My son over there laughing at me. Still over here dying on the table right now. Get this. He won't come over here and carry his old man. You know, that's what he won't do. He won't come over here and try to help me get out of my silver lobbies. Well, gotta do it myself, I guess, right? All right, do that. Beastmaster for an old dude. Ah. Right. Right. Good. Yeah, that's why I picked it, bro. That's why I picked it. This skin felt like Arc Raider's theme because of those captive stripes. That's exactly why I picked it. All right, looks like I'm gonna be playing light this round. And of course, looks like that. But I pick utility light. Like if you look at my setup, this is all utility. This is for my team right here. I know what you meant. Beast. He meant. Forget that, dude.
You're eliminated 30 seconds in.
Exactly. Charge.
All right.
Welcome, viewers. Today we're diving into the digital. It's Sis Horizon.
All right.
Contestants will
Do
face
some
off in a
ranks.
virtual landscape
See how
like
this
no
goes.
other. Now, the high notes.
Heavy
The
light,
underdogs,
medium heavy
the
light.
ultra rares,
Medium heavy light.
and far more. The steamrollers.
Okay.
It's time to bring the heat.
Let's hope these teammates are gonna work with me.
Warm evening colours in the sky can only mean it's
Gateway
magic hour
going out.
with good visibility in the
Teleport
arena.
here. The high notes are harmonizing at Vault 2. Scanning that area. Sonar grenade out.
Oh.
Help yourself. Cheers for that.
You get team wipe off that?
Going up there.
Oh, you ran. You ran with it.
Cash out B.
He's just delaying. He was smart.
Sonar grenade out. Cash out B. Let's move.
Ooh, he staggered out. That was bad for him.
The steamrollers take it. First cash out underway. Pyro mindset. Planting a mine.
Oh, they're heavy gonna stagger out too now.
The first team wipe is in and the arena is buzzing.
And the high notes are the first to drop. That's gotta hurt.
Oh.
Watch out, there. Cash out started by the overdogs. Throwing sonar grenade.
Okay, I gotta go back. Someone behind us. Oh, that's orange team. Oh. Play my life. I'll play my life.
Tossing a sonar.
Oh.
Sonar grenade out.
Oof, that was close. Oh no. There we go. Cash out, boys. Woo! See, I'm having games like that. When I have games like this, I think we do good.
Calculated, and it's working like magic.
See, will you get sub games on Arc when it comes out? I'm not sure what you mean by that, to be honest.
The high notes are back
Oh,
in
sub
play.
games. I should get people in. Dude, join the Discord. Like, just straight up join the Discord.
The Steamrollers are busy prying into Vault 3. Pass out complete, and the Overdogs
Oh,
just got
boys.
richer.
Incredible coordination from the underdogs.
Hello to you too. Jesus, whole other team that was here.
Don't look away, folks. The second half is bound
Yeah,
to bring more
Beastmaster
surprises.
sub games.
It's the
Join the
finals,
Discord.
folks.
Definitely we'll do sub games. We'll do sub games too. But honestly, join the Discord. We're going to be rocking it hard one way or the other. Jam-wise, welcome to the chat, man. I see arc raiders in my dreams, and not in the metaphorical sense. I literally have dreams collecting scrap topside. Need it so badly. Dude, man. When the game captures you like that, you know it's a good sign. Or a bad one, depends on how, you know, how much it influences you. By the way, guys, if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you so much for coming in. I'm trying to build my Twitch platform just so I can get like more drops, and get like just more developer notice in regards to that. Unfortunately, just I have to be multi-platform. So if you can give me a follow over there, watch me over there, it helps a lot. If not, though, I appreciate you watching regardless. So.
Sonar grenade out. The Steamrollers are crushing it. They're opening Vault 4. Threat detected. The Overdogs are back in play.
After that earlier altercation, the high notes should probably stay on high alert.
With crushing force, the Steamrollers have started a cash out. Reloading.
This way.
The high notes hit a low again with a new team wipe.
I would have expected them to survive a bit of death method.
The Ultra Rares looted a cash out.
Thank you so much for the follow, man.
Skilled play can change the game.
Cash out complete, and the Ultra Rares just got richer.
It's not gonna matter if you have it now, buddy. You're just gonna take it back.
Stealing that cash out.
They just up the ante.
Initiating a scan.
Enforce it.
No slowing down now. The Steamrollers took that cash out back. The Ultra Rares are opening up.
Oh, this is bad for me.
Steel block.
Oh, damn. Damn-wise, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, growing on Twitch is pretty tough. And unfortunately, like, a lot of developers, when they're figuring out who to give what accesses to, and, like... On here. Let's outflank him. Oh, no.
To avenge that team wipe.
He's one shot, too.
Just 60 seconds remaining.
Let's hope our contestants have some juice
Stop Ban
left in
TK,
the
thank you for the
tank.
follow. Damn-wise, thank you for the follow. I appreciate y'all.
Let's see which team can handle the pressure best.
It's the same thing for like X, for example. Like I didn't particularly care for X. Come on, guys, stop it, stop it, stop it. Nice.
A new vault, that's a new chance for a new dance and for a new romance. Agreed.
Oh, damn. I played with fire and I got burned, man. Yeah. So yeah, same thing for like X. You know, I mean, the vast majority of people who are in an industry, they talk on X. They you know, they connect on X. So unfortunately, that's just the platform I have to be active on. Same thing for Twitch. Like, to me, honestly, if I could just be on YouTube and that's it, I'd be on YouTube and that's it. But you know, that's not the way of how it all goes, and so I'm trying to build it all.
30 seconds left to decide the winner.
And
Our teams are fighting until the very last second.
let's see here. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, unfortunately, well, you know, Twitch, it has a lot more functionality when it built into it, so a lot of developers would prefer it to use for things like drops and events, things of that nature.
7 seconds.
Nice.
And the ultra rares earn a victory. Will they win more than once in a blue moon? We'll find out next
Beastmaster, every day I
round.
go on X on my phone, that just pisses me off.
The steamrollers
You're
are
probably just
moving
following
to
the
the
wrong
next
people,
round
honestly,
two.
man. For me, since I have a strict, you know, it's for my channel only policy, I only follow it Arc Raider stuff, and that's it. And occasionally I'll just kind of like, I'll scroll through it, but I literally go in there and I'll make maybe a post, and then after that I'll check on my notifications and I'll move on. I am active on it, but I don't use it for scrolling or anything like that, man. Like you just demonstrated, my day will not get better by doing that. Oh, the For You page? Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I go out of my way to either like block or interact with it. Hey, show me less of this, show me less of that, show me less of this. I'll go out of my way to do that, and eventually the algorithm picks it up. It's not always the case, mind you, but like, that's kind of what I do. All right, let's get this done, boys. I had a pretty good game. Not the best. I made some mistakes here and there, but I had a pretty good game.
The ultra rares, the retros, the boundward, and finally, the steamrollers. The arena's still hot. Who's gonna burn brightest this round?
Our round is blessed with glorious weather today. Normal visibility and plenty of sun.
Here.
I'm like, boys, use
The boundless are strong-arming vault
use the portal.
What a play! The initial elimination is in, and it's clear that no one here is holding back.
It's sink
That's
or
team wipe,
swim
yeah, team
time.
wipe.
You're right. Who will rise to the occasion? We've hit our first team wipe, and it's a showstopper.
That didn't go the boundless way at all.
Oh, you got that.
Back to action. Many thanks.
Let's go to B.
Charge for cash out B. Back for more action are the boundless. They'll be looking to remind the fans of their infinite talent. Here come the retros, kicking off a cash out. Scanning that area. Initiating a scan.
gotta play the point.
Every elimination landed like a hammer to glass.
Oh, dude, he was one shot too. I didn't realize.
The Steamrollers are back in play.
Going for the revive.
Oh, thank goodness he didn't
Pushed
spend it.
boundaries and stole a cash out.
Oh, that was so well played.
Sonar grenade out.
One contestant from the Steamrollers just wiped out several competitors at once. Stunning move.
No hesitation.
The Steamrollers push their way to that cash out again. The
All right, I think
Boundless
we're
have
gonna get
returned
this.
to the arena.
I feel some tension building. The Steamrollers had better watch out.
Enemy spotted. Down there.
Talk about a close call. A contestant steps up to keep their cash safe. This is exactly what the Steamrollers needed. They've pocketed our first cash out.
All right, good boys.
Impressive. They turned a steal into a cash out.
A confident move by the Retros leads to a successful cash out.
Yup, stolen and banked. So, are you entertained yet, viewers?
Scubato, what's up, man? Welcome to this. Welcome to the stream.
The Steamrollers are determined to crush the competition. They're opening Vault 3.
Deploying a surprise.
Hey, yo, chat. I'm sorry I'm not chatting in right now. I'm just like locked in, and I'm trying to keep it that way.
Push for catch out D.
The Retros are busy unwrapping Vault 4.
Oh,
Scanning that area.
As we enter the second half of the match.
This is what the fans came to see. Top-tier competition at its best.
oh, get him! Get him! One shot! One shot! There you go. Dude, how did he kill me so fast?
The Retros just sprang into action and into the lead.
Twin Dog just wrapped up this week's Alcoholics. You and Rockhound Black are champions, dude. I appreciate you, man.
Okay, let's go. Move to catch out station D. Okie dokie.
The Steamrollers have commenced a cash out.
Oh, he's just one tap too.
We've got the Boundless returning to the arena.
They've had time to gather speed. The Steamrollers better be ready.
Getting revived. My team's carrying me, man. I gotta show better game sense. Oh no. Oh man. Alright, I gotta calm down. Yeah, definitely gotta wrap him up
Come back
first.
in no time. Reloading.
Unfortunately.
More teammates pull back to the ring. Relocating. Moving. Placing a gateway. Gateway.
Oh.
Limitless in their pursuit, the Boundless stole a cash out.
That could be a game changer.
Enemy spotted down there. In process. Sonar grenade out.
Save my teammates. There we go.
That's the sound of the Boundless making off with a completed cash out.
And they stole that with confidence earlier.
Oh boy. Alright, Scuba, to be honest, I've been kind of forgetting about Arc Raiders, which is why the time is flying fast for me. Dude, you might have found the cheat code, man. Honestly.
Gotcha.
A vault has just arrived. Get ready for a frenzy.
Someone's here already, I think. Oh
the
no,
Boundless
he's
are strong arming a vault.
oh fudge. Why did he go that way?
A minute still remaining. Let's see what they make of it.
Oh. Oh damn it. Dude, we got split. How we do this, man? Oh, this is not wise. This was not wise. This was not wise.
Time to put their game faces on, Scotty.
Initiating a scan. Don't say I never did anything for you.
I think we got this, boys. Let's add a minute. All right, so we gotta get one of these. Yeah, let's get A.
Okay.
Nerves of steel. The Boundless steal a cash out at the very last second.
One skill play can change the game.
The finish line is near. Only 30 seconds left.
Every move counts.
Watch out, over here. Use that zip line.
Oh, boys. I got trapped. Oh no, I think we're gonna lose it because of this. Dang.
Well, the Boundless are the team to beat as we catapult into the final round.
I'm pretty sure I threw
And with a
I
flair
threw
of
that.
timeless strategy, the Retros will join them in what promises to be a classic
I'm pretty
showdown.
sure I threw that one, guys. Got killed too many times when I shouldn't have been getting killed. But hey, at least I ranked up a little bit. Quinn Dog, I'm grateful to have someone talking about it every week, even if it's not trending. Maybe it's torturing myself. Maybe, man. Maybe. But it's not torturing yourself. I'm doing the torturing. It's just one of those things where, and it's also every other weekend, I do put out a video between episodes to kind of keep the pacing up a little bit. I don't know, as long as there's things to talk about, I'll talk about them. But yeah, well, it's been fun, guys. I think I'm probably gonna wrap it up here. It's been super fun talking to you guys. So I'm probably gonna make this a regular thing, Tuesday nights. Just chatting it up with Arc Raiders, and then playing some finals or whatever it is gonna be there. So I'm gonna be checking out probably Space Marine 2 with the new content coming out in a couple of days. So thanks so much for coming by. Thanks so much for the follows. Thanks so much for chatting, keeping me company. All of that. Thank you so much for enjoying the content. That's, it's good to hear. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day.